going against the Oklahoma State defense?
Offense?
Offense.
Yeah. I mean, they have a ton of weapons. I mean, you look at their receivers, Tylan Wallace, obviously, he's a big-time receiver. They got a big-time back, and then quarterback and offensive line. I mean, they're really a complete unit, so that's something we're preparing for.
Is stopping the ground game kind of point number one before you worry about limited the passing game and getting into the backfield?
Up front, yeah. I mean, Hubbard, their running back, I think he's averaging, 160 yards. So definitely for us, that's our focus going into this game. Look for the run and then react to the pass. So that's what we're looking to stop.
For you personally, went from a guy kind of splitting time as a starter last year to now a guy where coach is praising you as an all-conference type in press conferences. What changed for you in the offseason other than the coaching staff and just getting older and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't really know. I just, I kind of approach it like I have every other offseason. And, it's just kind of worked out with, the scheme and everything. I think it's allowing us more opportunities to make plays. So I think that's just kind of how it's worked out.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll have some of the same keys that you had as against Mississippi State.
I think so. I mean, our keys are always the same. Every scheme offensively is obviously different. So we're looking for different stuff in that aspect. But, I mean, we've seen basically every scheme that you'll see. So we just, kind of play our keys and do it that way.
What has Wallace done that you look at as a challenge?
I mean, he catches a lot of contested balls. I mean, they throw it up to him, and he's, most of the time he's going to come down with it. So, that's something that we'll have to be prepared for. They're going to have some big plays, so we'll just have to respond to that.
Thanks for rolling with that, because I meant to say Hubbard.
Hubbard? Yeah, I mean, he's a really good back. I mean, he's got a lot of speed. They really like their stretch plays, so that's something that, we've been working on a lot the past 2 weeks. So
How do you guys contain Sanders? You guys really haven't faced a guy like him yet.
Yeah, I mean, he can do it all. He can throw, he can run, but I think we need to keep him in the pocket and make him throw. That's something we're going to focus on. Just limit, what he does with his feet.
What caught your eye the most when you watched him against Texas?
He looked poised. I mean, he just went out there and made plays, and like I said, he made a lot of plays with his feet. So that's something that we have to stop with our front four.
Lots been made of you guys rotating a lot of players this year. How valuable could that be against an offense like theirs that'll try to get so many snaps off?
Yeah, I mean, they go fast, and we've been practicing for that. But just us rotating more, it keeps guys fresh, and everyone's ready to play. So yeah. I think it'll help a lot.
You're getting another body back this week with Wyatt Huber. How much do you think that's going to help the line try to slow down this Oklahoma State?
I mean, yeah, Wyatt's a great player, so we're really excited to have him back. Kyle Ball did a great job, filling in for him against Mississippi State, and they'll still be rotating, but we're definitely excited to have him back.
What has impressed you with Kyle this season?
I've been here a year and a half, so just watching him this off season and watching him kind of grow as a player and as a leader and stuff, that's probably been the most impressive thing to me.
Is it difficult at times to substitute against an offense like this? Like, do you have a package waiting for them to sub so you can? How do you deal with that with an offense going as fast as they do?
Well, a lot of times we look for a deep ball. If they throw a deep incompletion, that's an opportunity for us to sub. And then if they sub, that gives us an opportunity to sub. So the coaches are looking for that on the sidelines. And if they're, 5-6 plays in, we'll kind of sub that way.
How have you guys been working on that? Like, what have you been doing in practice this week to prepare for that up fast tempo like that?
Really, the scouts have done a great job. Travis Britz, he's the GA, one of the defensive GAs, and he runs that scout O-line. So they're getting lined up fast every time, and he's directing them in the back on what to do, what schemes they're running. So he's done a really good job.
Have you guys bounced anything off of the offensive line this week in terms of the way that Coach Dickey coaches or anything like that since he's down there now? Has that been a conversation at all?
A little bit. I'm sure they'll change up what they're communicating on the front, if they even communicate at all. But, we've seen things, last year in their, splits and everything, kind of some tells. But, who knows if they do that against us, knowing that we'll, probably have a decent idea. So
you referenced the scout team. Who's a guy or two on offense in that group that stood out to you or impressed you in the last couple of weeks?
I line up across from a kid named Marshall Kellner. Mm-hmm. He's number 78 offensive guard, but he does a really good job, and I think he helps me get prepared every week.
I think one of the comments I heard during the Texas-Oklahoma State game was, the Big 12 really doesn't play defense. Are you guys?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are top 20 in scoring defense right now.
Yeah.
Is the plan to go out and prove that K-State's for real? K-State can play defense, and the Big 12 has a team that can play defense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you hear that all the time, in the off season, Big 12 teams have, all the offense, but no one's playing defense. So, I mean, that's something that we're trying to pride ourselves on, the defense here. So, we've been good through 3 weeks, but, we got 9 more games to show it. So we just got to take it week by week.
What's personally been working so well and clicking for you this season?
I think just all of this kind of up front, we're playing with more confidence. I think with our scheme, it allows us to make more plays inside. So I think that's really helped us a lot.
When you say scheme, like what are you doing differently that's opened some things up?
We talk a lot about playing vertical. In the past, it's kind of been hold your gap a little bit. But, in this scheme, they really want us, getting off the ball, getting vertical, even in the run game. So I think that's helped a lot.
What do you think will be one or two biggest keys for you guys to have defensive success against Oklahoma State?
Like I said, I think the first thing is just got to be stop the run. Their running attack has been really strong these first 3-4 weeks for them. So it's going to be that, and then we have to limit their big plays. So,
what kind of partnership do you and Trey have there in the middle of the line?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about, teams, shouldn't be able to block us one-on-one. So, he's been getting a lot of double teams, and, I've been fortunate enough to be able to make some plays off that. So, hopefully going forward, teams see that, and, he starts getting some single blocks and, is able to make more plays that way.
Has anybody double teamed you yet?
I mean, you're going to get double teamed a lot, regardless of who you are, just they want to run left or right. But I think he's been catching a lot of double teams in the past game, so hopefully, I'll be able to track some of those.
When you play a quarterback as mobile as Spencer Sanders, does that change anything from a defensive tackle standpoint and what you guys have to do?
Yeah, I think it changes, the front four. Just, we know we have to keep him in the pocket, so we got to be a little more conscious on our rushes, that way to, not let him escape.
How challenging is it in like the read option game to fight off the guy blocking you as well as trying to understand, where the handoff has gone? And I guess where are your eyes throughout that whole process?
Well, it's just your keys really. So, my eyes, it doesn't happen a lot on the inside, but, we'll get a wham block from the guard and our eyes will go straight to the quarterback.
Right.
So you just got to read it that way.
Yeah.
How different is this quarterback from what you guys have seen so far this year?
I'd say he's, as good throwing the ball as on his feet. He's just really balanced, but, when he takes off, he's, an electric player. So I don't think we've seen, that type of athleticism at the quarterback spot yet. So it'll definitely be a challenge.
What did you feel like you guys did so well as a defensive line against Mississippi State last time out?
I thought we went out and we were just a more physical group. We talked about that a lot going in, that, they weren't going to probably respect our physicality, from, last year's game. So, we wanted to go out and do that. So I think we're able to, be the more physical team.